Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Aavegotchi, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, we're going to be diving into my favorite cryptos that have to do with the NFT space. NFTs have been the most hyped cryptos out there, with many of them providing some of the best returning gains over the last couple months. NFTs have been great. I've made quite a bit of money trading those, but I wanted to share with you guys exact cryptocurrencies that have platforms of NFTs built around them. And these are going to be some of the best performing ones that have already seen great gains that are still very undervalued in the grand scheme of things. I strongly believe that over the next 5 months, we're going to see a lot of retail investors, specifically a lot of dumb money that really doesn't know what they're doing, just getting into the crypto space. And the first thing that they're going to be going for is NFTs. Everybody thinks NFTs are fun, creative, and this is exactly why it sets the perfect precedent for a lot of retail investors to come flooding in, and these platforms are going to see the bulk of all that money. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys sign up and join the Discord server of over 20,000 members and growing. Links are going to be provided for you in the description for the people that want to go ahead and sign up and join the community. On top of that, if you're new, just getting into these markets, and you want an extra study guide to help you guys be more profitable, you can also download my free ebook and beginner's guide to crypto. Links are going to be provided for you in the description. It's going to be free to download. Lots of great information, so go check it out. Now, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and with all that being said, let's jump right into this amazing video today. Alrighty guys, now the first one on today's list is going to be EcoFi, and the reason I want to talk about EcoFi is because we are getting a continuation breakout from our recent move in my last video. Now if you guys remember, I made my last video right over here, and we actually, in the last video we talked about how we were at the potential of breaking out of this massive double bottom formation. Now here's the thing guys, I've seen a double bottom formation play out a number of different times. The first one I ever saw happen was actually Bitcoin. And I'll share with you guys kind of what a real double bottom formation actually looks like. And we got to throw it all the way back. And in fact, we're going to actually go to the Brave Liquid Index so that I can actually show you guys what that move looked like. So we're going to remove these drawing tools, and we're going to scroll down all the way to the last cycle. I'm going to share with you guys how a double bottom formation generally plays out, because these are some of the more profitable patterns you're going to be able to find. A number of altcoins do these. It's just a simple reversal pattern, but whenever you see these happen, it's the beginning of a brand new bull trend. So example, Bitcoin was right here, right? Bitcoin had this massive descending resistance, lower lows, lower highs all the way through there. And then finally, when we broke out right here, we made a double bottom formation. So we have the low here, and then we have the low here. Basically what happens is you have these two support lows, and price will kind of channel inside of this low, right? So we have resistance there, and we have support there. Now, inside of a double bottom, you're going to get one retest at this support, consolidate, and then we'll get another retest of that support. And then once we break out of that range high, that's when we get a confirmed reversal point. And so where EcoFi was in our last video was pretty much right down here at this very bottom of the low. And what happened after that video was we got this move here, a breakout of that range and a retest. And so where EcoFi is at today is actually at the major reversal point, right? So we got that same exact double bottom formation forming, where we have a support low, where we have a range high. And once we actually tag that support for the second time, there was the retest once, there's retest twice, we get a massive volume breakout, and the price actually breaks outside of this range. Now, here's the thing guys, we held support above this range right here, and now we're getting this big green buy candle in here. That tells me the continuation is on the way. And so we should expect to look for another target, because we've now exited that range. That's the old range, and we should be looking at the next one in that place. Now guys, here's the thing. Not only have we broken from a major reversal pattern, but we've also broken from all descending resistance. Notice how every time we would hit this level, we'd fall lower, here, 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 here. We still couldn't break it there. And then finally, we got a breakout of that level. And then that's when our first higher high comes in. This is literally just our first Elliott wave impulse right here. This is wave 1. And what's coming is going to be wave 3. Now, to be quite honest, guys, I think that the all-time high and a retest of about $11.50 will be the next move. And then that's what's going to take us into new all-time highs. We're starting our first 1, 3, and 5 Elliott wave impulse in here. And we don't really have another resistance until, about right here, I would say. Our first one's going to be at about 13.31, just to give it a conservative target. But to be quite honest, I think we're going to be hitting that all-time high. Now, here's one of the ways in which we can actually dictate where the price may go, and that's actually going to be through this Fibonacci extension tool. So you go from the low to the high, back to the midpoint. And the 1618 is pretty much where we have to hit, because wave 3 has to at least be the same size as wave 1. And wave 1, for that to be the case, we have to hit at least this 1618. So actually, that's going to be slightly past the all-time highs at about $17.80. And what generally happens with 3 waves, not always the case, because this is the very beginning of an impulse, we should expect to see that these waves might be similar in size. But oftentimes we see this 3 wave coming and extending all the way up to, halfway above the 1618, all the way up to the 2618 at times. So high-end target, we could seriously be sitting at close to $30 inside of this next move. Now, just to be conservative, we want to say that we have to at least hit this 1618 for this to be a confirmed Elliott wave impulse inside of this 3 wave, and that's going to be taking us just slightly past those all-time highs, guys. And so if you were somebody that watched this video, you bought the lows, from that video, we were sitting here at about $2.60. That's going to be, almost a 6x return. And if we hit the 2618, you guys are going to be looking at almost a 10x return. And so this is why I love these lower market cap cryptos. They perform the best. They have some of the greatest price returns. And not only that, but whenever you could find a low cap that follows the technicals so well, being the descending resistance, we make a classic double bottom accumulation pattern. We break out of that with a lot of volume, and now we're getting continuation from that. You literally cannot get a better setup. Low caps can often be unpredictable, unreliable. But at the end of the day, guys, what EcoFi is doing is something that there's a ton of money flooding into. Like I said, NFTs. And if we look at their website, what EcoFi is doing, to sum it up right now, basically what they're doing is they're taking real physical art pieces, and sometimes even prints, it really depends, but they have physical art pieces from some of these famous artists, Pablo Picasso, Vincent van Gogh, Keith Haring. They have a few more from like Henry Matisse, and there's a few other artists that I'm forgetting, but they have these physical art pieces that are hanging in their gallery. And if you collect all 100 shares of that NFT, they will literally send you the physical copy. And so what they're doing is fractionalizing art. Think about it. Normally in the conventional world, if I wanted to invest in a company, I would go buy shares of a stock, right? And then as that company did well, as they released their profit returns, I would make money off of the price of the stock going up. My shares would go up in value. Well, it's kind of the same thing. And this is the cool thing about NFTs, is you can literally fractionalize anything. In this case, real fine arts. These are fine arts from some of the most famous artists. I know the most of you guys probably don't know a lot about art, but I can just about guarantee a lot of you have heard of some of these major names, right? So the cool thing about this is just simply the fact that what they're doing is allowing real fine arts to be fractionalized. So if you own a little share, maybe you can't afford to buy the entire physical art piece, which could be thousands of dollars, but at the end of the day, you can own fractions of that, and then as the hype comes into NFTs, as these fine arts just continue to go up in value like they always have throughout history, you're going to be banking off of making a lot of money, and you can really sell those shares to somebody else. Maybe there's another guy that wants to own all 100 shares, and he has to buy you out of yours. Ultimately, that creates FOMO, and that creates, an opportunity for you to make a lot of money. And so this is one of the big reasons I'm super hyped about Eco. You guys can come over here and look at some of this stuff. They're actually going to be doing a giveaway for one of these fine art pieces, and it's from an artist that I'm telling you guys right now is going to be really popular. You guys are going to be really excited, whoever gets that. But at the end of the day, guys, they're going to be literally fractioning off ownership of all of these. And so it's like owning stocks, except you're owning a share of an actual fine art piece, which if you guys look at the long-term graph of fine arts, they literally just always go up in value. It's like digital real estate, and not even just digital, because now you can actually own the physical piece. And so because we're seeing such strong technicals, because all of the NFT space is blowing up, I really don't think you guys can go wrong buying this one. And if you guys do want to buy it, I'll link it in the description. You guys can also search this thing on CoinGecko as well, because it is listed over there. So let's go over here to CoinGecko, and all you guys have to do is just search EcoFi, right? Search up EcoFi, come down here to markets, and then you guys can just click this Uniswap link, and it'll just automatically redirect you over here, and you can pay with whatever token you want, right? So if you guys do want to buy that, that's the way to go about doing it. Regardless, guys, I see a ton more upside potential still to go. Now that we're actually breaking out, making higher highs, this is literally the most bullish setup you can find, buying the one wave breakout. Even though we're starting to get a green candle, we have pulled back a little bit. We're right at resistance. In my opinion, this is going to get continuation, and we're going to be heading to those all-time highs. So you don't want to miss out. The majority of the supply is being staked, so there's not really a ton of sell side pressure. You guys don't have to worry about any of that. And this is one that is still at 4 mil market cap. You don't really find these type of low cap opportunities, and this is one that you're just simply not going to want to miss out on. So that's EcoFi. Now, next up on the list is going to be one from a little bit of a bigger crypto company, and that's going to be Aave. So Aave actually made this NFT platform, and I don't know if you guys remember, because this was a much stronger thing inside of my generation. So what this is called is Aavegotchi. So if you guys remember, most likely you guys probably don't, and I'll have to just explain because most of the people that watch this channel are much older than me. But when I was a kid and I was going in grade school and I would ride the bus, all of the little girls in elementary school, they would have these little tiny digital keychains, and it was a little game. And they had this little digital animal, whether it was a dog or cat or anything, and you would have to feed it every day, you'd have to walk it, you'd have to do all of the things that you normally would with a pet. Otherwise, it would die, and if it died, you have to go buy a new device again. Now, this is really interesting because that was kind of the very beginning of some of this digital stuff. Now, even though it's not NFTs, this is kind of what Aavegotchi is going to do. They're creating a metaverse with NFTs, and so you guys can have your little characters, little video game items and whatnot, and all of it's going to be done through NFTs. And so this is really cool, guys. If you can find the NFT gaming projects, in my opinion, those are some of the most undervalued because that's really where the most value is going to be made with NFTs is inside of the gaming industry. You got to think about it. Most of you guys probably don't play video games. If you do play video games or you have kids that play video games, think about it from this perspective. You know, Fortnite was a big game, lots of hype around it. You know, kids were playing it, kids were spending, you know, their mother's credit cards on trying to buy video game items. And that's the thing, guys. There is a huge economy for video game items, whether it's a gun, whether it's a skin, whether it's, you know, anything inside of the video game. You know, collectible things inside of the game to add to your characters as you play, those are all going to be NFTs in the future. And this is where the real value in NFTs comes into. And so Aavegotchi is going to be doing just that. Now, the reason I like this chart from a technical setup is we're pretty much just flipped the all-time highs, right? We're going to get continuation into price discovery. In my opinion, this next move is just going to be one where it just goes extremely parabolic. And so, you know, even though it has pumped up quite a bit, this is still really undervalued. And I'll explain to you guys exactly why. We have only ever had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 Elliott wave impulse. And then we had our corrective ABC back down. A, B, C. Now, if you guys notice here, notice how the C leg barely even goes below the A. That tells me that there's a lot of buy support. Anytime you see one of these types of ABCs where the C leg barely goes below the A, that shows that there's a ton of buyers stepping into the market. Because normally with an ABC, we'd see it like this. A, B, C, right? Something like that. This one is not showing that. This one is showing that there's a ton of new buyers stepping into the market. And so what this entire move means is that this is just wave 1. This is wave 1, and we're getting ready for wave 3. I'm telling you guys, if you watch my channel, I've been talking about this a lot. Wave 3 is the biggest of the Elliott wave impulses, and that's exactly what's coming next. The fact is, we just flipped the all-time highs. We have great volume to show for that, and now this is going to be the move into price discovery that simply you just see all these big green candles, and you don't really know where it's going. But you know, if we pull up a Fibonacci target, let's actually see where we could look to take some profits off of this. So if we go from the low up to the high, back down to the midpoint, we have to go to at least this 1618 to confirm that this is actually a 3-wave. So that would need to be, from where we're at today, that would be about 60%. But like I said, guys, oftentimes we see this 3-wave overextend, and we see it come all the way up to about the 2618, which would be about 133%. Now, the cool thing about this stuff, guys, is I can draw fib targets. I can show you where the technicals say that it should go. But at the end of the day, with all of the hype in crypto, and specifically with NFTs right now, these are the type of charts that just far surpass all expectations. They blow past all of these Fibonacci targets. And so, in my opinion, the best thing that I'm going to be doing is simply, you know, I've been buying since all the way back down here, right? I bought my first bag all the way over here at 73 cents. So I kind of bought the top before this thing crashed, and I've been holding it for over a year's period of time. But at the end of the day, you know, this is going to be the part where we see the majority of the profit made. And so even if you didn't buy all the way down here, this is still the one wave. We just left the one wave. There's still going to be a wave 3 and a wave 5 before we're done. And I'm telling you guys right now that most likely this thing is going to far surpass all of these fib targets. It's going to go way higher than any technical show. And that's just simply because of all the hype around the NFT space. And so I really recommend this one. I think it's a good project long term for the rest of this bull cycle anyways. NFTs are really hype, and this is going to be one of the leaders considering that it's Aave that actually made it. Alrighty guys, last up on today's list is going to be Rarible. Now I left this as last just because of the fact we already talked about this in one of the prior videos. Now when we talked about this, we were pretty much right at the breakout point right over here. And I said that, you know, this looks like a good buy because I think we're going to break out of this level, which is exactly what we have done. And so as it stands right now, every single one of these charts, EcoFi is even more undervalued than all of these, but Aavegotchi and Rarible are about in the same situation where we finished wave 1, we finished wave 3, and then we finished wave 5. And then what followed after was our first ABC correction. ABC, right? So what that means is this entire move is simply just wave 1. All of this price history is wave 1, and we're getting ready for wave 3. Now, like I've always stated, guys, you can draw fib targets. Most likely it overextends, but we can still draw them nonetheless. And so if we come over here, go from the low, go to the high. I'm not going to go to the high of the B wave because we're only measuring from the impulse. So we go from wave 5 back down to the midpoint, which is simply just the low that it hit before continuation. So where we have to go from here is that 1618 level. And where we're sitting at today, for us to hit that, you know, you're looking at about 342%. Like I've always stated, oftentimes the 3-wave is going to overextend to this 2618, which would be about 6x. Now, if it was to play out like this, I would expect something along the lines of this. Run up, maybe pull back here, bigger move, and then we would start really rallying back up into a much more parabolic sequence. Now, from here, guys, this is the thing. We could pull back right here, or this thing could literally just extend way further than you're expecting. We don't really know, which is why as long as we accumulate down here at the range lows, right when we first start seeing higher highs and higher lows, we're just simply going to put ourselves at the best opportunity. Nobody knows when the exact top is. Nobody knows when the exact bottom is. But at the end of the day, if you position yourself at the low or at the high when you sell, you're going to be making off really good and you're going to be fine regardless. Profit is profit. As long as we realize that profit, there's really nothing to complain about. And Rarible is just the same as OpenSea, guys. If you know what OpenSea is, I think I have a tab pulled up here. OpenSea. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to go buy my ape COVID punk, feel free to do that. Just kidding. But OpenSea is literally just an NFT platform, right? For all of you people that want to sell, create, whatever your NFTs, this is the platform to go ahead and do that. You can search everything up here. You can do all of this. It's really slow because of how many people are buying NFTs right now. It's kind of been broken a little bit, but that's one of the things that I think is strong about Rarible is it's simply the same exact thing. You guys can go sell your own NFTs on Rarible. You can buy other people's NFTs and all of that fun stuff. And because it's more undervalued, you know, I think that there's going to be a lot of volume that ultimately leaves OpenSea and trickles down to Rarible because Rarible was created shortly after OpenSea. OpenSea is seen the most rise. It's kind of like Uniswap and SushiSwap, where Uniswap took off first, but SushiSwap is still undervalued. I think it's the same thing with Rarible. And the thing is, guys, there isn't a token for OpenSea, but there is for Rarible. And so imagine being able to buy or invest into OpenSea. Well, now you can with Rarible, and I fully expect this thing's going to take off a lot. We'll be able to make some good profits off of this one, and so you want to keep these on your radar. But anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. If you want to learn more, links are going to be provided for you in the description. If you guys want to download my free ebook or join my Discord server, links are provided for you in the description for that. On top of that, if you guys would like to join my signals group, follow all these trades that I take, see all my analysis, know when I'm taking profits at the end of this bull cycle, how much I'm taking profits, and where I'm moving all of my crypto profits into. You guys can also sign up for that. There's a website link down at the bottom. Go ahead, join that, get into all this exciting information that I share with my community every single day. I know you guys are going to be grateful for it. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.